What? A business trip overseas? Don't lie to me, that's a stupid excuse. You're just a housewife. If you keep lying, I'll divorce you. My husband doesn't believe me at all. It feels like he doesn't care about me anymore. To him, I'm just someone who takes care of the house. What is this? I saw some papers on the table. When I got home from my business trip, I found divorce papers sitting there. If you don't want a divorce, come to my parents' house and beg for forgiveness. That was the message from my husband. I grabbed my keys, went outside, and got into my car. My name is Ariel, I'm 35 years old and a jewelry artist. Lately, my custom jewelry has been selling really well. I've worked hard for years, and now, thanks to social media, my pieces are well known. My business makes $400,000 a year. It took a long time to reach this level, but I love my work, I wouldn't trade it for anything. My career is going great, but my personal life is a mess. The problem is my husband, Jack. He doesn't understand my job and even mocks it. No matter how much I explain, he refuses to believe me. I feel like I've reached my limit. Jack and I met 10 years ago through a blind date set up by a friend. We liked each other right away and started dating. At the time, I worked for a big jewelry company, and Jack was an office worker at a small business. He didn't earn much, but he had a steady job and worked hard. Back then, he was kind and caring, and we had a great relationship. Eventually, he proposed, and we got married. After our wedding, he asked me to focus on taking care of the house. So, I quit my job. It actually worked out because I had always dreamed of becoming a jewelry artist. My old job was too busy, and I never had time to create my own designs. Now, as a full-time housewife, I had time to work on my jewelry. At first, Jack supported me. "Wow, your designs are amazing," he would say. "Thank you, I'm happy you think so," I'd reply. "Ariel, you're so talented, I can't believe you made this." His encouragement meant the world to me. I started selling a few pieces online, and it felt wonderful to see people buy my work. This made me want to become a full-time jewelry artist even more. My family and friends supported my dream. One of my friends even introduced me to a businessman who gave me advice on selling my jewelry. My friends even contacted famous jewelry artists so I could learn new skills. Thanks to their support, I was able to follow my dream. With their help, I created my own website to sell my jewelry. I also started posting on social media, and soon, I gained a lot of followers. Over the next few years, my business grew. Now, all I had to do was keep making jewelry and selling it. I worked hard every day. I designed new pieces, took pictures, and posted them online. People would see my work on social media and visit my store to buy them. I kept repeating this process, and my sales slowly increased. At first, I was making at least $4,000 a month. When I told my husband, he was shocked. "No way, are you really making that much?" "Yeah, I'm doing pretty well." "Wow, Ariel, that's crazy, I can't even imagine earning money like that as an office worker." He looked so surprised that I laughed. I thought his reaction was cute. I wanted to see more of those happy reactions, so I kept creating and selling my work. I now had hundreds of designs. Some of my jewelry was custom-made based on customer requests. Since I only made pieces after getting an order, I didn't have too much extra stock in my room. This meant I had enough space to keep working. As time passed, my business kept growing. But then, my husband started acting differently. He became distant. "Hey, Ariel, are you still doing this hobby?" "What? This is my job." "What do you mean? Just because you make some extra money, you call it a job?" "What? You don't have to say it like that. I take pride in every piece I make. No one cares about the pride of a housewife like you." "Why are you being so rude? I take care of the house, I cook for you, clean, and make sure everything is fine." "Well, yeah, you're a stay-at-home wife, that's what you're supposed to do." "No, I'm a stay-at-home businesswoman." "Huh? What even is that?" "My work is not just a hobby. Please, it's just something for a bored housewife to do. You might as well take a class or something instead." That's how my husband started disrespecting my work. He didn't like the idea of me making money while staying at home, while he had to go to work every day. After that, he started complaining about everything I did. "You have time to make jewelry, But you should focus more on cooking. Who would even buy those things? What's the point of doing such an old-fashioned hobby? Honestly, do you even have any talent? My husband's harsh words stressed me out. To escape, I started locking myself in my room on weekends to work. He didn't like that, so he began going out on weekends instead. We had been married for 7 years, and things had been like this for a long time. I wished we could go back to being good partners like before, but his behavior kept pushing me away. Then, an opportunity came my way. A friend who lived overseas told me her company's president loved my jewelry. She wanted me to design exclusive pieces for their top customers. Since this was a big business deal, the payment was generous. I knew I had to accept. The company's president also wanted me to visit in person to understand their culture before designing the pieces. She even invited me on a short vacation to a Scandinavian town in Europe. I was thrilled. I never imagined I would get to travel abroad for work. But the trip would last 2 weeks. That meant I wouldn't be able to do any housework during that time. Even though my husband and I weren't talking much, I decided to tell him about my business trip. As expected, his reaction was cold. What, a business trip overseas? Don't tell me such a stupid lie. You're just a housewife. I'm not just a housewife, I'm also a businesswoman. My jewelry is selling, it's a real job. How many times do I have to tell you? Stop with your delusions. Just focus on housework. If you keep lying, I'll divorce you. Divorce? How can you say that? Because you're a useless liar. He didn't believe me at all. And don't even joke about leaving home for 2 weeks. Your job is to cook, clean, and prepare my bath. It was clear, he didn't care about me. He just wanted a housekeeper. If I listened to him, I would miss a huge opportunity. So, I ignored him and started packing. I was going on this business trip no matter what he said. After a long flight, I arrived in Europe. It was my first time here, and everything was beautiful. Even ordinary houses looked like works of art. Jewelry shops lined the streets. I touched and studied different pieces, analyzing their designs. My meeting with the company's president went well. I enjoyed delicious local food and bought souvenirs for my family and friends. Since the company was covering the costs, I didn't have to pay for anything. I had an amazing time. As I walked through the city, new jewelry ideas kept coming to me. I couldn't wait to go back home and start creating. The company president was kind, ambitious, and trustworthy. I finished my trip feeling grateful for the new opportunities. During this time, my husband sent me many messages. But I ignored them and focused on my work. I would deal with him when I got back. When I finally returned home, there was a surprise waiting for me. What is this? A few sheets of paper were on the table. Divorce papers. My husband was furious that I had been gone for so long. He wanted to end our marriage. I immediately called him. Where are you? What's with these divorce papers? He yelled back. I don't need a useless woman like you anymore. You're so obsessed with your stupid hobby that you ignored your real duties. You left for some ridiculous trip and skipped your chores. You've got to be kidding me. Who do you think you owe your comfortable life to? You should know better, Ariel. At that moment, my love for my husband completely vanished. How could he say something so cruel? Then, he added, if you don't want a divorce, come to my parents' house and beg on your knees. Maybe then I'll reconsider. That was it. I had enough. Without hesitation, I grabbed my car keys and left. Instead of begging him, I decided to file for divorce myself. I went straight to my parents' house and told them everything. With their help, I moved all my things out of our home. For now, I would live with my parents and focus on my work. Meanwhile, my husband kept texting me. Hurry up and apologize, stop being so stubborn. I ignored every message. A week passed, and then he started calling me nonstop. I finally answered. Ariel, what the hell is going on? Where's all your stuff? Obviously, I moved out. Are you serious? How long are you going to keep up this act? Act? What act? I'm done with this, Jack. You'll never understand my work. Still talking about your stupid hobby? You're delusional. Think whatever you want, it doesn't matter. We're going to be strangers soon. Oh, by the way, thanks for the divorce papers you left behind. I filed them with the court. What? You actually filed them? That was just a threat. I laughed. Jack, You're such an idiot. Even if it was a threat, you prepared the papers yourself. That means you were serious about divorcing me. He exploded. Whatever, fine, if that's what you want, I'll divorce you. You'll regret this, you can't make real money on your own. Without me, you'll live a miserable, poor life. Meanwhile, I'm going to enjoy my life, all by myself, spending my money however I want. I simply said, suit yourself. And I hung up. I told you, Jack, we're strangers now. I said that and hung up without hesitation. After that, I focused entirely on my work. Living with my parents made things easier, my mom handled most of the housework, so I had more time to create. Without distractions, my ideas kept flowing. Then, out of nowhere, Jack called again. What do you want now? Why is the rent so high? Excuse me? How did you even afford to live here with rent like this? I laughed. Took you long enough to notice, I was already making more than you. I paid half the rent, plus most of the groceries and other expenses. He went silent. Wait, you really made that much money? You never believed me, did you? You're hopeless. Well, enjoy living on your own. You'll understand real life once your money runs out. More silence, then, suddenly. Ariel, I'm sorry, please come back. Let's start over. I rolled my eyes. Are you serious? After everything you put me through? There's no chance. Don't call me again, you're a stranger to me. And if you show up at my parents' house, I'll report you. Please, Ariel, don't say that. He sounded desperate, like his whole world was falling apart. I ignored him, hung up, and blocked his number. Later, I found out what happened to him. When his parents learned the truth, they kicked him out. Then, unable to pay rent, he was evicted from our old place too. After our divorce, he thought he could live large, bought a new car, designer clothes, wasted money. Now, it's all gone. He lives in a tiny, run-down apartment, drowning in debt. Meanwhile, my life is thriving. I'm still working as a jewelry artist, and my business is booming. My overseas work has been a huge success, and I'm in talks for an exclusive contract. I'm grateful every day that I get to do what I love. To everyone who supports my work, thank you. And to my ex? Enjoy your new life, you earned it.